Okay, here we are, Game 3 for the Coral Springs, Florida City Championship between Harrison Leven on the left and Luke Reed on the right. We did see Harrison mulligan there. We had a very quick Game 1 where Harrison got off to a blazing fast start, and then a kind of strange Game 2 where Luke started with a Cobalion, but he still managed to win the game. And now we are here in the final and deciding Game 3 to see who will become City Champion of Coral Springs, Florida. So we will wait as Harrison shuffles and draws a new hand of 7. Luke will draw an extra card off of his mulligan. And of course Harrison will decide who goes first this game, which I hope for his sake he will decide to go first, because there is no downside to going first in this game currently. And there we go. He's going to go first. Luke does get that extra card for the mulligan, but going first is a big advantage. And 3 games in a row. Luke does not start with a Durant, so very, very unlucky for Luke. He starts with a Rotom 2 out of the 3 games, and Cobalion one of the other ones. This is ugly. It prevents him from using Devour on the first turn. Not something you want to have happen. And honestly, the sooner you can Devour, the better. And in this case, it doesn't look like he's going to get to Devour till at least turn 2. So this is unfortunate. But we'll see if he can rebound. No. He does have a Collector in his hand, it would appear. So that is good at least. But, you know, if he doesn't have an energy this turn, that's going to set him back even more. There's just a lot of things that can go wrong when you start with Rotom. I mean, you want to start Devouring as quickly as possible. And in all 3 games, he has not been able to. I mean, the first 2 games, he didn't start Devouring till turn 4 or 5. Of course, the second game, he was just able to get a win anyway. But, I don't know. Harrison did have to just call for family with Litwick. I don't think he actually did not play a supporter. Looks like he has a Sage in his hand, but he opted not to use it. So, it looks like it'll be a slow start from Harrison, which will help Luke out here. But depends on a lot of stuff here. I also didn't get to see if there was a Durant prize for Luke or not, but we will find out. So, looks like there is, because Luke is going ahead and using Mischievous Trick right away, and he's going to have to dig that Durant out of his prizes. You'll recall in the first game, he actually wasn't able to, so we'll see if he can this time around. Now, Harrison is going to use the Sage this time around. I did see a Chandelure in his hand. We'll see if he gets a rare candy here. That would be big. But no, I don't see a rare candy. He would have gotten a quick Vileplume. And with that Lampin in the top 5, he would have gotten a Lampin as well. And I think Luke just would have lost this game straight away if there was a rare candy in those top 5 cards. So, he's going to grab the Lampins, of course. He's setting aside another card. Not sure why he's doing that. We'll see which cards Harrison decides to take. There was a Chandelure in there as well. He opted not to take that. And let's see what he discards. A Seeker, a Collector, still deciding, and a Chandelure, which is surprising. Oh, it's because there was a Dodrio. Maybe he didn't check to see if the other Dodrio was prized, or maybe it is prized, and he knew that already. So he goes ahead and takes the Dodrio, and then he's going to call for family again. And he's going to have to grab Cleffa, so Litwick's attack is quite nice. I'm sure Luke wishes he had a Crushing Hammer or a Lost Remover so he could get rid of that energy off of the Litwick. Unfortunately, he does not. He's going to have to make a decision. He's got a few supporters in his hand. Does he want Oak's New Theory or Juniper to see if he drew the Rotom, the Durant off of his Rotom's Mischievous Trick? And there we go, he decides I'm just going to draw straight away. And there was no Durant, so that's a bummer. Now, Luke probably wishes he had a Lost Remover or a Crushing Hammer here to prevent Litwick from retreating this next turn. But he does have a catcher. He's going to smartly bring out the Dodrio, because even though Dodrio gives your other Pokemon 2 less retreat, it actually does not give itself less retreat cost. So even though Dodrio helps its other guys retreat, it actually still needs to pay an energy to retreat itself. And this is actually quite a pain in the butt, because, I mean, you gotta pay it every single time. Now, Harrison does not have an energy in his hand, but he does have his Seeker. He could Seeker up his Litwick and retreat, and that looks like what he might have to do here. Yep, there we go. He's going to Seeker up his Litwick. Luke will just pick up Rotom. He'll probably play it down next turn again, but this gives Harrison the energy to retreat and Eek. Probably play the Litwick back down as well. And next turn, he's going to try to get that Vileplume out. He's got to get that out as soon as possible. If he doesn't get Vileplume out, Chandelure really can't do it alone. Curse Shadow really won't knock out Durant quickly enough. You need the Vileplume and the Chandelure. He's got 2/3 of what he needs. He's got the Dodrio, he's got the Chandelure, but he does not have the Vileplume yet. So it's going to be a race. Can Harrison get the Vileplume out quickly enough before Luke devours his deck? It's really going to come down to this. Can he lock down the trainers before his deck gets devoured too far? And I mean, we're going to see in the next few turns. So Cleffa did wake up, which is fortunate for Harrison. But, you know, the other thing about not having Vileplume is Luke can keep catching out that Dodrio. And if Harrison would not have an energy to retreat, it would get stuck there. So this is kind of a big deal. This will allow Luke to play trainers out of his hand for a while as well. So things are looking up for Luke right now. I can't imagine a situation where Harrison doesn't get Vileplume soon and it doesn't hurt him. So every single turn that Luke gets to devour, it's another good turn for him. And he does have an N in his hand. There we go, he's going to play that as well. Really no downside to that because Harrison did just shuffle in and draw 6, so might as well get yourself a new hand. You're not helping your opponent at all, really. I mean, technically Harrison could have drawn a good hand off of Eek, and then Luke could shuffle it back in. But honestly, he's just ending up with 6 cards the same way he would have. So Luke is going to draw his 6 cards, and there we go, there's a catcher. He's probably going to play that and bring out Dodrio once again. This is going to be big. Here comes Dodrio. Anytime he can maybe get Harrison without an energy, that's another turn. He gets to use Devour, so that's great. And there's a Pokegear. Again, just playing trainers while he can, because he realizes Vileplume could be on the way at any point here. Grabs a Juniper, and there we go. So we're going to see another Devour for 3. Painful that he was not able to get a 4th Durant yet, but he's going to be able to keep using Mischievous Trick, I would think. And eventually he'll be able to get the 4th one out and start devouring for 4. So here we go, here's a Devour for 3. There goes Lampent, but we did see another one in Harrison's hand anyway, so that's not a big deal. Nothing too crucial carded there. Too crucial discarded there, I mean, sorry. Of course, the N could be a big deal because later on in the game, you can shuffle cards back into your deck using the N, but I don't think that'll be a big deal. But here's a communication. Harrison will be searching for Gloom, I would think, and he's just looking through his deck, looking through his discard, and we saw Luke kind of pointed to God there, thanking him, because it looks like Gloom is actually prized, and since Harrison does not have a rare candy in his hand, he won't be able to get Vileplume out, and this is a big break for Luke. If Gloom were to come into play, next turn a Vileplume would probably follow, but now, without the Gloom and without a rare candy in his hand, Harrison's going to be forced to Eek once again, and really, he just probably won't have enough time to win anymore. I'm not sure what he's going to grab with communication now that Gloom is prized, and then he is just furiously checking everything, making sure Gloom is not in his discard. Did he overlook that? And that Gloom is not in his deck. And I think he's looked enough times to see that, yeah, it's not there. So he doesn't grab anything. Does play a Collector just to get rid of it. And he's going to Eek again. And Luke nods his head and says, yes, the Gloom is prized. So this was the opening he needed. He needs to see no Vileplume for a while. And honestly, the clock is ticking for Harrison. Durant will devour his deck very quickly if he doesn't get that Vileplume and start using Chandelure. And he's going to draw 6. There's a Vileplume. No rare candy. So still nothing happening on Harrison's side. And he might just have to start promoting Chandelure to use Curse Shadow, setting up for Durant knockouts. and then pray he draws another rare candy. I don't think he can afford to eke any longer, because if he does, it's just going to be more cards devoured, and don't forget it does take time to do the damage to knock out these Durants. Now, I do apologize here. We did not realize this at the time, but looks like the camera stopped recording. So, we actually don't have this entire game on film. Fortunately, I was there to watch it. I did get a good view of it. I can't believe that the camera actually stopped recording it, because I was standing right there. But, yes, we don't have the footage for the rest of this, unfortunately, but we do know Harrison's Gloom is prized. He actually was not able to get a Vileplume out until it was way too late, and eventually Devour just added up, and by the time Harrison got out the Chandelure and the Vileplume, he could not knock out the Durants quickly enough, and his deck was devoured. And so Luke Reed actually came back after losing the first game. He won 2 in a row. He started with Rotom 2 out of the 3 games, and the Cobalion in the second game, and he was still able to win the series. So congratulations to Luke, who is the Coral Springs, Florida City Champion. Harrison was not able to set up quickly enough in the last 2 games, and Luke was able to take the series. So congratulations to Luke. Thank you guys for watching. I apologize again for the video cutting out. It is an unfortunate side effect of technology. Sometimes it doesn't work the way you want it to. I'm not sure exactly what happened. We did have it plugged in, so battery wouldn't have run out. So maybe someone bumped into it or something. I'm not sure what the case was, but I apologize. And we will have more videos up soon. Hopefully the full videos next time. And thanks for watching. See you guys next time.